Good afternoon, and welcome back to the old ways. I am your storyteller. Today, Michael Diamond, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm super thankful that you're here to join us for part 2 of season 3 of Children of the Periphery. We have, as always, reconfigured into a new and we'll say special lineup for the series now. We've got all of our players here today and super excited to deliver this to you. Thank you for joining us in chat. If you're here with us live, we greatly appreciate it. Always nice to see and hear you in chat. So we are going to get to introductions, but before we do, we want to remind you that if you are in the Madison, Wisconsin area and you are coming out to Gamehole Con next week, Friday night, we are going to be working on doing a special recording and hopefully internet gods with us streaming live on Twitch from Gamehole Con. So hopefully you'll be able to join us in that regard. And so now we will get to character and player introductions, which begin to my right.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I'm playing Captain Amara Castra, who is a brash explorer who learns quickly. Our pronouns are she, her, and, just a heads up, I have a spectacular cold going on. It started a couple days ago, so if I sound like I've been smoking 20 packs of cigarettes, that is why, but super excited to be here, cold and all.
Thank you very much for showing up. We appreciate you smoking 20 packs of cigarettes. If that's actually what you're doing, you don't have to lie to the audience. It's fine. Next to Captain Kazra.
Hi, this is Mav. I play Tamaris Ganvari, an empathic speaker who commands mental powers. We both use they, them pronouns, and we discovered something last adventure.
Yeah, you did. That'll be very interesting to see what happens there. Next to Mav.
Hi, I'm Skip. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Quinn Keller, a lucky warrior who pilots StarCraft, and I got to fly the ship. Not very long, but I got to fly the ship.
Yep, you got to do the thing that you've been trained to do. Fantastic. And now, last but most certainly not least.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lecco. Tonight, today, I'll be playing Sergeant Montgomery Donald Ducky Sinclair, a mechanical strong legionnaire specialist who fuses flesh and steel, and who will bring like a blend of I don't know, grit, gears, and maybe a little too much curiosity about what's going on. Outside of that, I run Retro Games Boutique, where we buy and sell and restore authentic retro video games with a white glove touch for collectors. Come find us on Whatnot, Retro Games Boutique.
Yeah, go check them out. Thanks for joining us, Lecco. I appreciate having you here, and can't wait to see all the fun that Ducky gets up to. So when we sit down to play streams, and especially when we play streams here on the old ways, the thing I want to make sure that folks know, especially folks who hang out in channel with us, is that there are some special abilities that you have access to, either as somebody who hangs out with us on the regular and they've got the points for them, or you are one of our fabulous Patreon members. And so you have access to something called the Hand of Fate. And so when we get into really tense situations and maybe somebody's dice, maybe Captain Kazra's dice have just not been very good to her. That does happen occasionally. You could go into the power-ups and rewards here on Twitch, and you could play a Hand of Fate. And so that Hand of Fate during live play can be paid for them, and I can just say, I want to play it for Captain Kazra, or I can use Morgan. So that way I know, and that message will pop up here in the activity feed. And so I'll see it. There'll be a noise, and then something positive will be given to the player. I could also, by that same token, go down and play something negative. So let's say that I really, really wanted to see that fancy ship skip right off the side of an alien vessel, and fittingly, Skip would be flying it, and so I could absolutely play a negative Hand of Fate against Skip, and then it would happen in play. And so you have access to all of those tools joining us here on stream. So please do so. And if you are a member of our fabulous Patreons, you can certainly message me during game. You can message me before game, as some of you already have, and sort of give me the ammo I need for all sorts of fun. All right. So that all done, we will look forward to our adventure today. So it's been sort of an interesting past couple of days after getting back from the signaling station. Especially for you, Tamaris, because you have sort of new data to look at. I wonder, what are your first steps when you begin to sort of unpack some of this data, data that Skip's character, Quinn, really helped sort of plug in? Where are you parsing it first? How are you getting to the bottom of it?
I'm like going through it with Rakam.
Mhm.
Rakam's got the processing speed and power,
Mhm.
and he can also help me analyze things, especially having someone else from the Third Horizon who's got a lot of knowledge in his databanks.
Yeah,
That would be my step.
he certainly does. He certainly does. The drive itself is something from the Third Horizon. That is clear. So it's certainly something that he would be willing to help you with. So we'll set the stage with you in, I guess, the bridge. And Rakam in his resplendent, glowing, holographic purple form is just probably in the literal thinking man pose, probably sitting on one of the consoles, staring at it, looking at you, staring at it, looking at you. I really hate the Order of the Pariah.
You're not the only one, Rakam. Believe me, you're not the only one.
You know that they came
Wasn't
after us, right?
Yes. Yes, I am fully aware, and I tap the side of my head where my ear has got a large scar across the side of it. Like, yes, I am very, very aware. Thank you.
Oh no, I mean like before I met up with you at all. Like the Order of Pariah, they came after artificial intelligences. They said that they were a scar upon the face of God.
What?
It happened early on. They decided when Koryo Station was being built out that it should be built by the hands of men and not machines. And they tried very hard to delete us, to remove us, because they felt like we were a challenge to their leadership and rule.
They don't like anything that challenges their worldview. I've come to learn that.
Well, I'm still here, and I'm still fighting.
Well, we're glad you're still here, Rakam. And I find it a little bit disturbing to find evidence of them out here, of all places.
I shudder to think. I mean, they have, or did have, some pretty fantastic technology. But the idea of them having access to be able to get here is... it's dangerous.
We'll have to be more wary when we're exploring out here.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we already weren't, considering it's a brand new location and place and peoples and all of that, but this is an added complication.
Okay, so what do you want to do with the drive?
We gotten everything off it?
It's downloaded now into the Periphery. We can certainly try to parse some of the data, filter it for what we're looking for.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So as far as the task goes, the challenge rating of something like this is at least 6.
Oof.
It is 6, and it's potentially an extendable test. I mean, you could take more time on it, but it is still a very difficult task because it's encrypted data.
Yeah. I will take time on it.
Thank you, Bunny. Thank you, Bunny Hearted, for watching and spending a Hand of Fate for Mav. Okay, so what I'll do then is I will give you advantage on this roll, and so you may roll and take the higher of the 2 results. And this is, of course, after you apply any of your own assets or efforts.
So can apply an effort.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that. I will also take time, because I have time, and it gets me out of those insufferable meetings that go on and on and on. I've got something else to do, so I'll take some time on it. I don't think I have anything else that I
Okay.
can use here.
So 6 becomes 5, effort becomes 4, so it's 12 or better. You
All that
get
better?
2
Okay, and I
rolls
have
on it.
advantage. Okay. First one was a 9. Nat 20!
Okay, nat 20. Very good.
Thank you for the hand of fate.
Very good, nat 20. So it's a critical success. So you aren't doing damage in the cipher system in this regard. So you're not adding any damage to it. And so you can get a major effect. You and Rakam work for probably a period of 2 or 3 hours. And the data begins to sort of come apart in a lattice work. What I mean by come apart is you begin to see things revealed. The drive has some residual data on it, which you collect. That residual data gives you specific star points and constellation connection points throughout this system. It is a treasure trove of navigational and astrogational data when it comes to wherever you are. And as this stuff unfolds, wonder and joy, in a way, take over. Rakam digitizes completely and gives over the holographic emitters back to the ship. And what you start to see is a cloud form in the middle of the ship. And that cloud becomes graced with tiny little motes of points, little light points. And then you see a grid pattern overlay that, and then another one. And then it zooms in and zooms in. And eventually you see a point appear on the map. And you hear Rakam's voice say, "You are here."
Wow. That's incredible. We have to tell the captain.
Yeah. Yeah, the Federated Council's going to want to know, obviously. This is an enormous breakthrough.
Do we have to?
I got a feeling they're going to want to know that, well, we know there's things out there.
It might help with the whole argument I've been having about resettlement as well, to point out that we can map things out, I suppose, and that we have a map and we know where other places are, and that we can get to them. I hate it when you're right.
Yeah, I hate to be right. It sounds like
No,
you
you
might, well, sometimes I don't want you to have to sit through another series of boring meetings over and over and over again and listen to General what's his name yap about how he's got to, I don't know, orbitally strike everything on the planet so that way he can pave it with concrete. I don't know what the guy wants, but
All right. Well, this might give us some ammunition, let's say, for getting the periphery out to explore a bit while they build in the underground spaces while we're exploring. That should help. This is massive, Rakam.
it is. And I will leave you with that massive announcement for one moment. So speaking of boring meetings, Captain Kazra, you're in a boring meeting with Quinn. Not because Quinn is holding the meeting, but you're there with him now because he's a member of the crew. Somehow, Tamaris begged or borrowed or stole time to be back on the ship, which is really where you'd rather be. But you're sitting in a pretty important meeting, even if it is boring, because the Federated Council is coming to a decision about what it's going to do. This is a very rare and auspicious moment. The Council, after being completely thawed, is something that has been, we'll just say, a highly deliberative body. There's a lot of different opinions that get bandied about what should be done next, where people should go, and how humanity should survive. And obviously, the military has a voice in these meetings because the military is very deeply involved with how the ship runs. But after probably an hour or two of looking at the data, you get visited by Councilperson Orn again. And she comes over to you with Major General Garrison, sort of in tow. And she says, Captain, the council has a request we'd like to make.
Yes, what can we do to help the Federated Council and General Garrison today?
Given the data that the general has presented, the council has decided that rather than move forward with the immediate colonization, full colonization of the planet, we're going to put our faith behind your ability to discover somewhere else.
It contains her excitement about being able to go travel.
Garrison is clearly not happy. He's sort of crossed-armed there, waiting for your response. Certainly, Quinn, you are part of this sort of gaggle of conversation. You can tell that your boss's boss's boss is not happy.
As soon as they walked over, I immediately snapped to attention.
He just nods at you.
Shake my head over it. My crew and I are my crew member and I only have one crew member. And I are ready to take this on to help you find a suitable planet for recolonization. However, I do have a request. I need a pilot. I was wondering if I could borrow I'm wondering if I
Quinn.
could borrow Quinn. I was like gonna combine the name and make you like a Benifer Skip, just so you know. If I could, we could borrow Quinn here to be our pilot for the Periphery. He did a fabulous job going over to the signal station.
Councilwoman Orn nods. It seems reasonable to me. She turns to Major General Garrison, and he doesn't seem to object.
Thank you. That's quite an honor, Captain. Thank you, ma'am. Captain.
Hey, don't man me. That's right.
We're concerned about the crew of the ship in its complement. It's a smaller ship as compared to the Nadir, of course, but the crew, just the three of you, does not seem complete. And so after some talk and advisement with the Major General, we're going to send a member of the Legion with you.
Of course you are, because, I mean, do they have any background in engineering? Because, really, we need somebody that can do a little.
The Major Garrison speaks up, Major General Garrison speaks up and says, they're a good fit on the technical side for the ship. They've been brought up to date with everything we have on the Periphery, and I'm certain that they'll be a good fit. Certainly, Lieutenant Colonel Oren would be here, but she's planet side still, so.
Yeah, that's a good place for her. I think she fits in well with that, and she's a lot of knowledge. We'll miss her. I'll miss our banter. But I want to ensure that whomever you are sending understands they report to me while on this mission and not you.
As a representative of the military, they'll be there to advise you, Captain. They don't outrank you. That's not how this works.
Wonderful. I look forward to meeting the person that you've assigned to the Periphery. How long do we have to search for a new planet?
Roughly speaking, I think you probably have about 2 months.
That doesn't give us a lot of time, but we'll do what we can. We appreciate the, well, I'm speaking for cameras and they aren't here, but I know they would also convey their appreciation for being given this chance to help find a better solution than the current one.
Well, when you stop down, deck 5, you'll meet him. It'll be a good fit. And I hope you understand, with us putting our faith in you, Captain, that we'll expect some return on our investment. After all, it's just the whole of humanity that could be lost. No pressure.
You do know that humanity still exists in the third horizon. Yes, Major General. I'm happy to help with this. But we are a civilian outfit.
Mm-hmm. For now.
Okay. Well, Councilwoman, lovely to see you as always.
Of course.
Major General, always a hoot. And did you say the individual in question that will be joining us from the Legionnaire is on deck 5?
He is. You'll meet the sergeant down there. I'm sure he's ready.
Okay. Quinn?
Yes,
Have,
Captain.
do you know who this person is? Have you met them?
I don't think so.
Well, Quinn and Quinn, if you'd like, I guess I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you'd like to accompany me to deck 5, we can go pick up our new crewmate in an effort to start getting ready to shove off.
Absolutely. By your leave, Major General.
He nods. Go get him, Quinn.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't say anything. I just turn around and go.
Captain, a quick word.
Yeah.
You don't like the Major General very well, do you?
No, I think he's kind of an asshole. But that's, neither here nor there.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because I was trying to read the room and I'm
Well,
not
you
very
read
good
it.
at it.
No, you read it. You read it. I'm not good with authority, especially authority of a military, variety. Back in the third horizon, I did quite a different type of job. I even had trouble with authority then too. That's why I captain my own shit now versus being told what to do. But I want to be better than my predecessors.
So far, you've been doing a bang up job, but I haven't been with you that long, so I don't know if you've made any foolish mistakes or not before me. But hopefully, that will not happen now. So, but yeah, thank you for speaking up for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to keep you here. I mean, I need a good pilot, and you were great.
I don't think the
Breaker.
Major General likes me either, but that's okay.
He seems like he's got to stick up his rear. It's fine. Well, let's go meet our new crewmate that he didn't give us the name of. So I guess we're gonna go find a random person on deck 5.
Just a sergeant. I mean, there's not that many. Well, okay, there is, but we'll find one.
So, speaking of a sergeant, Donald, can I call you Donald?
Sure, go ahead.
The past few months have been sort of revolutionary. I think that's really the best way to put it. When you left Earth, you were placed into a cryogenic pod along with a series of other Legionnaires with the hope that you would be out defending humanity's future in a brave new world. that they were going to find across the stars. Earth in 2250 had become sort of a hellscape. Not so much because of war. Many of the wars had already passed 100 or so years ago, but the ecological problems that the Earth ran into became to be too much for humanity to bear. And so 6 or so major nations banded together, and through their science and technology programs, they created 2 enormous colony ships, which they utilized to breach the horizon and go into space for long-term travel. Upon waking, upon thawing, you find that 3 or so hundred years have passed, and that the ship you left on is not even the ship that you're on anymore. You are on a ship that's not a quarter of the size that you're supposed to be on. Much of the crew is gone. You didn't land in the place that you were supposed to land, and your sister ship is gone. And no one knows where. There are rumors, but you're not really certain when you first wake up of what the future is supposed to hold. You are certain that the Legionnaires are here, that the military, as far as you know it, is in control of most of the ship, that there is the Federated Council, so that is sort of a normal touchstone. And instead of the normal 33-member body, there are about 10 or 11 of them. So humanity has a government, and humanity has a military.
That all seems very, very enlightening and jarring. But I knew going in that there's a really good chance that when I woke up that all of my friends and family would be long gone. So at this point, the organization and the structure of the military is the only family I have.
That's true. That's very, very true. So you spend a few months getting acclimated. You spend a few months getting implanted with technology, with new orders, with necessary items. You learn what it means to ration food and water again. You probably have stopped down to the planet proper to deliver supplies. You're one of the number of sort of faceless legionnaires that exist here. You spend probably most of your time inside your power armor. Helmet on, because it helps regulate all sorts of stuff and gives you much of the data that you need. You're aware of a couple of other things. There is a spacecraft here, and it is not owned by the military, which many of your fellow soldiers seem a little bit concerned about. There's been, I would guess, loose talk about the long-term future of that vessel and really who should be in control of it, considering that it has actual weapons on it. A lot of this has been tamped down by some of the more higher-ranking line officers that are here, but the troops still talk about it. And by troops, I mean like, I don't know, 50-ish or so of you. You become aware that you are a resource burden for the ship, which is why they've been sending so many of you down to the planet. But you are still here. On Deck 5, which is one of the lower decks. It's really where engineering is based at. And it's where most of the mechanics and the tools that you've been using to retrofit the acorn-shaped ship that you're on into making it work for you sit at. And so the day-to-day of like drilling and being involved with what we would call regular sort of soldier PT is not something you really do. You're more on the technical side, helping rebuild and reshape the interior of the ship to make it more modular and make it more workable for the people who live here. So what do you think you'd spend your days and nights outside of work doing, Donald?
Well, honestly, reading, watching whatever sort of um, historical media is available, getting up to speed on, I do enjoy a good quiet night of prose. I want to make sure that I stay read. It's kind of the, I guess, the softest side of me. I want to make sure that I value the written word.
Hmm.
Um, and in a time like this, when there's so much uncertainty, I like to feel like it's okay to dream. Because at some point, I would rather that my job be obsolete. But I understand that given the situation, given the state of the world, it's essential now.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is.
Otherwise, I'd probably spend time with the others. Sergeant Sinclair, call sign Ducky, is not necessarily super social, but he's not antisocial.
Mhm.
He does laugh, he does smile. He doesn't offer a lot about himself because he doesn't really have a lot to offer. He lets his actions speak for him generally. So he works long hours. Um, he pulls more than his share of weight, literally and figuratively. So he does his best to kind of try to make the lives of his fellow legionnaires a little easier, considering the scope of things. And if they've seen fit to invest in him, um, then he's going to make sure that they are able to eke out every bit of value they can from the moment he wakes up until he goes to bed.
Okay, interesting. You get a lot of. You probably become a little bit of a beacon for some of the other lower rank enlisted men. Not that you'd be broadcasting that is who you are specifically, but like as someone who is more interested in the learned material or experiencing those things, it's clear the men here at the enlisted level are looking for leadership, and that's a natural role for a sergeant,
Mhm.
right? So there's probably some opportunities like organize the men into, or the troops, I should say, into events or activities, as it were.
Yeah, I do my best to teach them to show up for more than work. To show up for each other, to show up for, because they are also all they have. If there's only 50 of them, there's only 50 of us. Um, when those numbers fall, they're not replenished very quickly. There's not a whole lot of us to backfill.
Yeah.
So it's on them to. So I think if anything, if there's fun to be had, it will always be in service of um, teaching them to cooperate, teaching them to collaborate, forcing them into positions where, like, I know and Ducky knows that sometimes you're forced to work alone, um, for him more than others. But until those people are forced in those positions, he's going to do his best to make sure that they know exactly how to benefit from each other's strengths and watch each other's sixes and operate as a unit.
So Tech 5 today has been pretty busy. It looks like they're bringing stuff back up from the cargo bay. Stuff that you had already packed and you had already prepared to like go down to planet is coming back here to, I guess, to be put into a retro like fit like storage area. And so you got orders this morning to again go back to the well and like pull some of these beams apart and some of these walls apart so that way it can house more storage, which is strange because you thought that all this stuff was supposed to go down to planet and now it's not.
I think the other point of concern is that he would also know that if he were ever to be deployed, the work that he does and the work that he's capable of doing, he would be making sure that the staff, like the rest of the crew, the rest of the soldiers here, that let's say he were deployed and others weren't, if he's doing the work of, let's say, 3 people, you would want to make sure that there were 3 people that were trained, you know what I mean, to kind of handle that job or to handle those jobs. So he probably also does a lot of job rotation within their skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
So like if someone is, generally working in logistics, every once in a while throwing them into the fire, making them drag boxes around physically as opposed to handling shipments and deployments of goods. But if this is unusual, then I would just head down. I would head over to logistics and see why things are moving strangely.
You meet a captain there. This is Captain Bremerton. He's there, probably pretty much the logistics point man at this point. He's someone that handles most of the incoming and outcoming. And he acknowledges you when you stop over.
Yeah, I stab him. Captain, good afternoon.
Sergeant, how are you?
Doing quite all right, sir. I was just wondering if you knew what was going on with the irregularities of the shipments this morning.
Yeah. Change of plans from upstairs. We're going to be pulling some of this back in rather than going down to planet. They've got some new plan. And I just got orders for you.
Yes, sir.
He sort of steps aside and you see that since technology in its abundance is not like so abundant where he could just hand you a data pad because the ship doesn't have that sort of just random tech lying around. He turns to the side and you see what looks like a glowing sort of like text on a green LCD monitor. It's really old school, but it's how the Nadir operates.
Nice.
It's looks like you're going on a trip.
May I ask if that has anything to do with that ship that's in orbit, sir?
Yeah, it has a lot to do with it. It looks like their council seems to be concerned that there's undue potential damage by us continuing to, expand on the planet. And so they're sending the Periphery out into space to look for a new home.
They're sending the Periphery. So I thought I was under the impression that it wasn't staffed by military.
It's not, at least officially. We have a pilot, I guess, working with the crew on some of the recent flights, but they're assigning you to it to be assist with some more technical experience, and if there's any encounters that they might have where your skills or talents could be useful.
I'm ready to serve with the pleasure of the Federated Council.
Good, because that is exactly what Major General Garrison has you doing.
When he says Major General, I raise an eyebrow.
The orders come all the way from the top.
And then I get a really kind of grim, almost sad look on my face. Sir, permission to speak freely?
Go ahead.
It's never a good thing, sir. Is there anything I need to know about this ship and this crew?
Well, we have them to thank for even being here, it's my understanding. The Nadir wouldn't have made it here without them. And they, in a way, were here when the cryogenic unfreezing process happened. Some of us probably wouldn't be alive without them. But they're non-military. And they're not really from our part of town. They're human, just like we are, as far as I know. But they don't... I don't think they're going to adhere to regulations, I'll just say that.
Well, you are quite aware of my field operations history and capabilities. I am concerned. Why would they need a commando, sir?
It's my understanding that on the signaling station nearby, a couple of different encounters happened with animals. That's all they'd say. Furry ones. The last report we got back from Quinn, their ship's pilot, was that something 10 feet long and hairy tried to kill them.
Well, all right then. I snap back to attention.
The lift behind you, which is probably 20 or 30 feet in this open area, opens. Doors slide apart. I would say it's much less like, say, a elevator or a turbo lift on Star Trek, and much more like the open platform style that DS9 has. So there's no real safety rails on this thing, and it is likely a danger to everyone that gets into it. Luckily, OSHA is really far away.
Yeah.
And there are 2 people on it. And so I'll have Morgan and Skip sort of explain what their characters look like for everyone again, so that way you know who you see.
Go ahead, Quinn. You can go first.
Okay. Well, behind the captain, you will see a 6'2" gentleman dressed in a military uniform. There's 2 things you notice about him. One, fiery red hair. The second, a fiery red mustache. Well trimmed. He had great eyes. Just following the captain with this gleam in his eye that something good just happened to him.
All right. So Amara has probably shoulder length, dark brown hair. It's up in a ponytail. It's really dark, almost black, but not quite. She's got gray eyes. She's got a jawline. It's not a soft jawline, but she's got, like a sharp jawline with high cheekbones. She's got olive colored skin. She looks like she's probably in her early 30s. She's 5'6". She looks trim, athletic looking. She's wearing a probably like a gray tank top with black pants. And you can see tattoos on her. She's got what looks like you're not, I mean, you probably wouldn't be familiar with it as you're not from the Third Horizon, but she's got a crest on one of her upper arms. And for those that are familiar with our first season, it's the Nomad Federation crest on her upper arm. She's got some tattoos on her left wrist. They look like they're in cursive, maybe somebody's name. For those that remember, it's the name of her parents. On her right arm, she's got what looks like a star system tattooed on there, and it's the Ash Belt system. That is where she's from. And if she turns around, you'll see some tattoos going down the back until they go under. You're not gonna be able to see under her shirt, but that looks like maybe like symbols. It really is the icons, the symbols of the icons that are tattooed on her back. So she's attractive looking, but she looks like she's like doesn't have time for people's shit.
Question for the storyteller is:
Yeah.
how visible are my implants?
I think it's completely up to you narratively how visible you want them.
I would probably assume that the limb ones are visible to some degree. I don't assume that they're visible up to like the neck. Then if I was in kind of work mode, I would probably just be in fatigues and with a work tee or some sort of short sleeve uniform shirt.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So Sergeant Sinclair is probably just under 6 feet. Built like a linebacker. Looks like he spent half his life carrying more than his share of the load. Broad-shouldered. He's got a few silver strands at his temples. He has dark, kind of shorter cropped hair, regulation length. Um, it's rather unkempt given the situation, but it's still pretty short. His eyes are deep brown. Um, there's kind of a faint scar that cuts through his right eyebrow, and um, the skin on his arms bear like a subtle metallic texture of grafted plating. And beneath his shirt, you can see that there are a couple of areas of his torso that look that jut in ways that bone doesn't necessarily jut. Like there's a little bit of extra material there. Um, he has a relatively light presence, though he would be a little. He would look concerned, but not afraid. He would look not worried necessarily, but um, he would look restrained right now. And he would have like a very set jaw. He would be standing at attention as soon as before you arrived because he resumed his posture before you came down, and he would um, stay. And now the person I'm seeing is not this person. Neither of these do either of these people bear ranking whatsoever.
Yeah, Quinn, Skip's character, is an ensign.
Okay. I'm unfamiliar with where they rank relative to. Um,
In the easiest sense for you, Quinn would be a subordinate in rank.
Okay.
Obviously, your captain who's with you, Bremerton, is above you.
Sure. Okay. I turn and wait to be acknowledged. I have no idea who I'm looking at. So I two new people showed up on deck. So I step aside and let the captain deal with them because they are not for necessarily me to address. I'm not the welcome wagon, but I step aside.
The one of the ranked officers down here, Amara, gestures to you and says, "Captain Kazra, I think I have your new crew member."
I stride over. Great. Is this him?
He gestures to him.
I will nod and politely and like half smile. Captain Kazra, is it?
Yeah. Or Amara, Captain will do. I don't know. Whatever you want to call me. Step late for dinner. Hold out my hand.
Sergeant Montgomery Sinclair, call sign Ducky, reporting for duty.
That's a lot of that's a lot of name going on there, Sergeant. What do you prefer?
Well, it seems that I'm serving under your command, ma'am. So you give the orders under whichever name you want to sling my way.
Well, Ducky it is.
I shake your hand. Ensign.
Sergeant Quinn, Quinn Keller. I'm not a sergeant. Ensign, you're the sergeant.
Eddie's ensign.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Yeah, on the Periphery we yeah, just so you know, on the Periphery we don't. I mean, yeah, it could be just tone that down just a smidge. It's
And she doesn't
Unless-
like to be called ma'am.
they don't call me ma'am.
Roger that, Captain.
Captain's fine. All right. So are you ready to go? Ready? We got some stuff to do on the ship. Gotta show you the girl. Introduce you to Tamarisk and Rakam.
Excellent. Yes, I just received my orders. I'll just need a couple minutes to pack my gear, and I can meet you wherever you are, wherever your shuttle is.
She's not a shuttle.
No, you're to the ship.
No, aren't we on the Nadir? Aren't we parked in the dock bay?
You are on the Nadir.
We're on the
Okay.
Nadir. We're in the docking bay. You can just meet us there whenever you're ready.
I'll be just a few minutes. Thank you so much. Pleasure to serve.
Okay. You go and grab your stuff. Amara and Quinn head back to the ship. And are you going to suit up before you go over there?
No.
Okay.
I will dress in my fatigues. I will have all of my gear, my heavy gear, stowed in whatever crate I have to tow.
Yep.
And then, my equipment and my books, and that's pretty much it. I have weapons, tools, armor, and books, and some art. That's about it.
Nice. Yeah, you have to get a push cart to like deal with all of the hardened cases that all of your equipment comes in.
Okay.
You get that put together and then begin wheeling it through the cargo bay. At the end of the cargo bay, there is a ship, and this is. It looks impressive. It looks futuristic, and there's a railgun on top of it.
This is a civilian craft.
Yes. No military designation on it. There's no lettering on it.
I very, very quietly sigh to myself, and brace for whatever's coming.
The ramp descends. Mercom alerts you, Captain, that there is there's someone approaching the ship. They have a cart with them. Are we taking on a new passenger? Am I not aware of what's going on?
Oh, Rakam, I'm sorry. I didn't have time to really tell you. We are taking on a new crew member. His name is Ducky. He's one of the Legionnaires.
Ducky?
It's his call sign, and so you know what? I like it. Yeah. So, he is our military advisor. We have a new mission, which I'm excited about. It gets us out of here and away from all of this.
Well,
I should probably find Tamarisk and let them know.
yeah, I think maybe they have something to tell you.
Oh, they do?
Mm.
Oh,
Yes. And poof, Tamers can be there if that's what they want.
suddenly appear magic.
Captain, we have a star map.
We have a map?
We have a map.
Does it have
Rakam
planets?
and I went through the data from that storage device that we found over on the signaling station, and well, we have a pretty good map. It shows us where we are even.
We should probably share that with the Federated Council.
Yes.
I sigh. Because I know it's going to go to the general. But it is the right thing to do to share that. So if you want to do, I don't know when we're leaving, but we're leaving. We have a new mission. Excuse me. Yeah, we've been tasked with trying to find another planet for colonization.
Oh, they gave in. This is
They did.
marvelous.
I know.
Only took 638 meetings.
At least.
639. Com chimes in.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
I counted.
So let's share that star map before we head off. Let's decide which planet we're going to look at next based on that star map. Probably the closest one. Is there any other data on there besides just the star map? Like if they're viable for life, if there's other civilizations already there.
It's probably going to take some time.
Okay.
Just to parse the rest of it. The crit gives you sort of like the big world mappy view, and then to zoom in and get some of the data from it, you'd know that, Tamarisk.
I'll have to spend some more time with it to figure that out, so maybe we choose a location, and while we're en route, I can spend some time looking through the data.
That would be great. I just want to try to avoid colonization on a planet where there's already an advanced civilization living.
Captain, I have spent the entire past few months making that argument. You don't have to convince me.
I know. I'm sorry. We are taking on a new member of the crew.
Joy.
I mean, the feel I get from him is that he's probably a little militaristic. And now I'm just making up words. But I don't know. I don't have a really good gauge on him yet, but his name is Sergeant Montgomery Donald Sinclair. But he told us we can call him Ducky. Well,
He's,
that's what
he's,
I'm choosing to do.
he's very intimidating.
Very
Quinn.
intimidating.
Quinn, I feel like that's your description of just about anyone. So,
Mhm.
We're going
yes.
to what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to take a break for a few minutes. We're going to let the ads run here on Twitch, and then we'll be back with a meeting of the full crew in just a few minutes. So stay tuned, and we'll see you very soon, okay? And welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the second portion and sticking with us. We appreciate it. And so we will just get right back into the action as it was and pick up with a doorbell going off. Maybe. At least an announcement that someone was here. And so, Captain, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I forgot to tell Tamaris that Quinn is also going to join us as well.
Oh,
Hi.
that's fine.
It's going to be a
Welcome back
blast.
aboard, Quinn.
Do I get my own room, or
You do.
do I have my own billet, or?
Get your own room. We'll show you that.
Okay.
Did you grab your stuff?
No, I didn't. Let me go get it.
Okay, well, we're getting Ducky situated. We'll wait for you. I mean, we're not leaving. We still have to do all the pre-flight checks. And
Oh,
all
okay.
that
I'll do
jazz.
that. I'll wait till the sergeant comes aboard, and then I'll go grab my stuff. I don't have much.
No, you can. Okay, whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I go to where the my brain is so stupid.
You
Today,
go
guys.
to the ramp.
Yes. I can't word this. It's my dementia kicking in.
There's no editing here, Morgan. We just have to continue to play straight through.
Hey, listen. Yeah, I know. Thanks, boss.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right, so I go to the ramp and I see Ducky.
Yep.
Captain, mission to come aboard.
Ducky? Yeah, sure. Yeah, come on up. You need some help? Let me
Oh
help
no,
you.
got it under. It's fine. I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. What up?
I push my card up. It's my understanding that you wanted me to perform, or you wanted to provide me with information to get an adequate technical assessment of the vessel.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Let me show you where engineering is. After we get you situated in your room.
Sure thing. Let me. Perhaps we should start the cargo hold so I can stow this gear.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I mean, I think we're technically in the cargo hold as it is. So,
You're close to it, yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I stow it all and I get my legal pad and my pen. And I just kind of walk with it behind me at ease, like it's just kind of being held behind me while I stand in front of the captain and wait.
Yeah, the Periphery has all your regular amenities. It has a sick bay. It has a food area with a variety of all the good stuff is gone. Obviously, we've been over here for a while. But yeah, it's got a regular like kitchenette type area where I'm kind of showing Sergeant Montgomery the ship and yeah, I show him the bridge. This is where with all the magic happens besides in engineering. And here's your room. Yada yada yada. I'm just going on and on and on. I'm kind of chatty. And then yeah, here's engineering.
You know,
Where all the other magic happens.
Ducky does place like one case just inside the door. It's like an actual suitcase, like a brown, like from Earth, like brown kind of beat up suitcase, with like stickers on it, and puts that just inside the door of his room before he heads off with you to engineering.
What kind of stickers do you have on your case?
It's like old vintage, like Earth location travel stickers, the kind that you would see on like postcards. So like, welcome to Florida.
I don't know what postcards are.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you
Like,
you
I
know
have
what
that.
postcards are, so the visual
I
reference
know.
is there.
Yes, Morgan
Um,
does.
but yeah, or like bumper stickers. They're like big travel stickers.
Yeah, I on the communications when we get to engineering, I call on Tamarisk Rakam, can you meet us in engineering, please?
A holographic entity digitizes in engineering.
Am I familiar with this kind of tech?
No,
All right.
no. This looks like something you'd see in a movie.
So I think this would be a good opportunity for me to utilize my skill in identifying or understanding machines. Is that, is
Yeah,
that what
no,
this
for
is
sure.
for?
That's a
Okay.
great way to get your first roll
What
in.
what am I even looking at?
Advanced computer generated holograph. Do you think hologram? Maybe it's a hologram. Hard to say. Maybe it's an assistant, some sort of an artificial intelligence, or maybe it's a movie. You don't know. Oh God, it moves. And it's purple. It's all purple.
What's transmitting it? I'm looking around to see like where's it coming from? What's projecting?
There's
Is it
like
here?
25 or so very tiny, high power emitters that are in engineering.
Okay. Do you want me to make a roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
So let's say that it is given your, I'm going to say that this would normally be a challenge rating 3 roll, but because of your technology difference, I'm going to say that you're hindered on this roll, so that will raise it to a 4.
Okay. So I am trained, which eases it 1, right?
Mm-hmm. So it goes back to 3.
Okay. And I'm very curious about this. So how do I exert effort?
So I love the idea that exerting effort really is just saying I'm going to spend effort.
Okay.
And then you're going to then spend 3 points for every level of effort that you're gonna utilize on this challenge, and then you're going to subtract the number of effort you would have. This would be an intellect pool. So if you have any edge in intellect pool, you would drop the 3 by whatever number you have.
Okay, I don't.
Okay, so it's cost you 3 intellect pool to spend this.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, and so then it is now a 2. So you need a 6 or better.
So I got a 9.
That is good.
Okay.
So yeah, this looks like a advanced technology, and it's moving. It's got full image rotation. It doesn't even pixelate when it moves, and it appears as normal as any other object in the room. It actually even seems to relax against one of the consoles in engineering, like a desk.
I eye it curiously as we continue.
Morning, Sergeant. It smooths its purple coat.
Good morning.
It affects a strange salute.
I don't know if that's necessary, but I appreciate the mutual respect. I'll offer to salute as well. What should I call you?
I'm Rakam.
Rakam.
I work for the captain. Oh, and really all of you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Rakam. I'm Sergeant Sinclair.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
The Nadir and I are kind of old friends.
so are you functioning as the operating system of this vessel then?
Yes.
Excellent. Then you're probably the person who you're the one
No,
I should speak to.
I'm a person. Trust me.
Oh, okay, very well. You are the one that I should, when it comes to questions of accessing via my neural relay permission to
Oh.
interface.
Oh, you've got one of those things. Okay, great. He steps closer towards you and seems to eyeball you.
Well, in order to maximize my potential in engineering, I feel that it would be essential for me to gain access. Not at this point in time, but
Yeah, no, certainly we could We can make something work and give you access to certain parts of the mechanics here, so you know what you're doing.
It's this entity seems awfully cagey.
Yep.
I didn't know that artificial intelligence came with paranoia.
Well, you, you'll have to excuse me. It's not your fault. You're a legionnaire, and where I'm from, they're sort of like a well-paid group of death merchants. That's what they do. That's not a. It's my hang up, not yours.
Well, expect that any functions I perform aboard this vessel would be essential in my role, as I've been assigned.
Perfect.
I'm just leaning against the counter, like with
Again,
a smirk on my face.
great to meet you, Mercom. Mercom? Mercom?
Rakam.
Mercom. I turn to the captain and smile.
Yeah, that's for Calm. He's wonderful. Don't.
Death Merchant. That's a new one.
Yeah. For Calm.
What? I'm not wrong.
Oh no, I appreciate the candor. It's
Mm.
it's not a moniker I am unfamiliar with.
No, it's just the way they acted in Third Horizon. It's something you thankfully didn't have to experience. You see, when the Nadir and her sister ship came to the Third Horizon, one of them landed near a planet. It became Coriolis Station. There's a whole bunch of history we could get into, but there's not time. The ship that gets deconstructed had a bunch of humans on it that got into these and became these factions. And these factions had their own decisions about what they did with their lives. The Legionnaires, the military, became a faction, a political one. And they were sold off to the highest bidder. And they sold their services, and they got really, really good at it. And so seeing Legionnaire armor is usually like the doorbell that you hear before the guy with the pizza arrives. It's a long story, but it's not a good story in the Third Horizon. Nobody wants to see the Legion show up.
Question for the storyteller.
Yeah.
In my research, in my refamiliarizing myself with history, how much of this from the Legion's perspective am I aware of?
Almost zero.
Okay.
You are not familiar with the story that he is telling you. And it doesn't even seem plausible. Based on like the Federated Council's edicts, it does not seem like this could even happen. The military has always served the Federated government.
Well, Macam, if it pleases you, I would welcome any opportunity to gain insight into your knowledge of history, and maybe have a chat about what it is that you are aware of.
I am a drop in the bucket compared to Tamarisk. Culturally, they know way more than I do.
I look forward to meeting them. I kind of
Speaking of-
half offer to shake its hand and don't.
It reaches out to shake your hand.
Sure, we'll try it.
You go right through the purple hologram. See, that's just, I had to, sorry.
Of course.
But yeah, speaking of Tamarisk.
Captain, you rang?
Turn.
Oh,
And-
Tamarisk. Yeah, meet our new crew member.
You see a fairly tall, slender person with wavy dark hair down to just below their chin, amber-colored skin, dark eyes, wearing earrings all along one ear. They've got cheekbones that could cut through glass, and they're wearing a high-necked kind of collared tunic over trousers. Very, not quite ornate, but stately looking. As if they were going to a meeting of the council or something. You might have seen them walking through the ship at some point. And Tamarisk just looks at you and tilts their head slightly. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Sergeant Montgomery Sinclair.
Tamarisk Kenvari. You can call me Tamarisk.
And call me Ducky. Seems the captain is built inclined to as well.
Nice to meet you, Ducky. I see you've met Rakam.
Yes, I was just being regaled with tales of horror and strife from aboard the what was that? The place?
I was Coriolis Station.
Coriolis Station.
It's a long story.
It's a very long story.
Yeah, I'm sure Rakam can get you access to the history in the Third Horizon, and
Com speaks
Right.
very highly about your knowledge of culture and history. As a student, I would appreciate an opportunity to get caught up to speed. I haven't really had an opportunity to do much outside of readjust since thawing a few months ago.
There is much to learn, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to discuss. I haven't had anyone to speak to about home for quite some time, other than the captain here. So I would happily discuss it with you when we have the time.
Sure thing. I look around engineering. Is there anything in here that seems to immediately warrant addressing, or like prior to us departing? Because I would have been doing this like on the way here while we were
No.
getting, you know what I mean, like assessing the ship and just kind of getting a feel for what kind of labor am I expect? What is my technical debt? What am I walking into?
Actually, as far as you can visually see here, the periphery is pretty well put together. The only thing that probably is lacking here is a chair. There's no seat in engineering right now. So like there's no place for you to sit. So either you stand or maybe you have to fashion one. All of the paneling in here seems reasonably clean, pretty well taken care of. The biggest challenge for you is going to be the technical divide. Like this is going from operating a vehicle, like say an automobile in the 1950s, to operating an automobile in the 2020s. The number of options and things you could potentially do are numerous, and you don't know what any of this stuff means.
So this may seem like an obvious question to the crew here, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. I don't suppose there's a reference manual for documentation on this vessel, is there?
That's what Rakam is for.
Of course.
Rakam points to himself with two thumbs. I'm it.
Well, if we ever want to ease the learning curve, we should definitely talk about access sooner than later.
Agreed. So, Captain, where are we going?
well, it seems you already know Rakam. We have a star map, so we'll pick the first planet and head that way. I mean, I don't have any other ideas other than that because we don't know where we are. I mean, we know where we are, but we don't know where we are.
That's not entirely accurate anymore.
I mean, do we have a name of the star system that we're in? I guess we would have talked to. Well, they weren't flight capable. Well, yeah, they were because they had the signal station. Would we have come up with that with the Oni and?
Yeah, the Oni did not name the planet. The Oni, on a spiritual level, feel that it was wrong to attempt to name a planet, and so they never thought themselves so dripping with hubris as to name a planet. That's sort of their vibe. But can I? Do you want to just tell her, Tamarisk? Just tell her.
There's a glowing spot saying you are here. Or rather, Rakam voice saying you are here.
Right, but is there a name?
No, but there's a series of numbers.
Yeah,
So we've got planetary numbers, which can be helpful for plotting out where we are and coming back and all of that sort of thing.
And course projections too. That is something hopefully the sergeant and I can work on, and probably even maybe Quinn. We're going to have to do some pretty gnarly calculations. I don't know how much time we have to find wherever we're going, but we got to maximize our travel time.
We get 2 months. 2
Oh.
months to find a new planet.
Well, we better
While
hope.
everybody's-
Go ahead.
Well, while everybody's talking, Ducky is walking around with his legal pad, looking at pieces of technology and writing things down.
Paper. I mean, would we know what paper is in the Third Horizon?
Oh, yeah,
Would we
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Make it sure, because you're old school, huh?
I'm sorry, Captain.
Nothing. Okay. So we need to report to the Federated Council. Tamarisk, I assume you're going to take care of that.
The get up.
We get up.
Okay.
Slightly more formally dressed.
Yes. The get up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of many wardrobes in Tamara's collection.
Yes.
Most of what they brought with them is wardrobe, let's be real.
That's true.
You're very fashionable.
Captain, if I may, is it possible to request any mission logs regarding things that have occurred either on or to the vessel? Since you're
Well, the logs of our your predecessor should be here. He kept pretty detailed logs for the ship and maintenance and engineering. Personal logs I can't give you access to. I'm a little behind on mission log. Been a little busy.
Ducky smiles again. Of course.
But Rakam, I'm sure would be happy to regale you with our missions. Right, Rakam?
I feel like you're delegating.
Isn't that what a captain does?
I know what you do. You get us into trouble. Like the planet with the flesh eaters?
You had fun with that. I mean, no, you didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so next steps?
Well, we need to make sure the sergeant has a full technical understanding of the ship. Can't really ask him to be an engineer for it if he doesn't understand how it works.
Right.
So we'll work on the uplink and then we'll plug him in and get him the information he needs. Other than that, we probably should get loose of the Nadir, and then Quinn and I can start working on plotting a course.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'll see what kind of supplies that we can gather to take with us, because obviously we're going to need something. Hopefully they can give us some water as well.
Sure.
We can maybe use. Does the Periphery have a environmental like what is it called? Like a refinery for water?
An internal water recycler, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You also have that, and you have the Arboretum, which has been a little bit modified to take some plant life from the planet below. Like what the colonists have found are actual edible vegetables.
So we'll have something. I can't promise gourmet meals, but I can promise you'll be fed and hydrated for at least the time being.
Talking to me.
I'm talking to the whole crew.
Okay.
We're gonna. Okay. So we got our assignments. You figure out what you're doing in engineering with Rakam. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Tamarisk, you're gonna go report to the Federated Council about the star map. Quinn, you're gonna go get your stuff.
Right, I'm going to go get my stuff. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay.
Don't go nowhere.
We
Well, you
are
can't because
leaving.
I'm flying the ship.
Yeah. Yes.
Quinn, you go
And
get your stuff.
I am gonna go start on my logs. Go up to the bridge.
Yeah, you cycle back and think through all the paperwork. You probably still have to do paperwork in air quotes, of course, but paperwork. And it's a little dizzying. There are probably 4, maybe 5 weeks of outstanding logs that you were supposed to submit to the Federated Council about movements in the ship and all sorts of stuff. So you're going to be there for a few hours. That said, For you, Sergeant, getting connected back to the systems here is, well, it's not terribly hard, provided you can utilize the adapter.
Mm-hmm.
So Racom points you to sort of plugins portion for it, and you see that there's like a series of adapters,
Okay.
and you have to basically look for a plug that works.
Yep. I will get my toolkit.
Mhm.
I will come back and basically I do the mechanic socket shuffle and I start stitching. I start stitching together a piece. I forgot that I have intelligence power shift as well. In addition to interface,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this should be pretty smooth for me.
Yeah.
I go need it, got it, need it. Oh wait, I need to change this one. And if I need to do anything on the fly, I'll log it for, I need to build a better version of this later. And then, am I alone in engineering?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And
Racom
I
is
will-
here, but
Yeah, I'll roll up my sleeve and expose my access port.
it sounds like a very personal thing to do.
Yep. It's basically it's in his forearm, like midway down the forearm on the soft side.
Okay. Yeah. You find it. The adapter is actually reasonably sort of chunky, sticks out. But once you plug in, there is a really intense stream of electricity that rides up your arm and into your shoulder. And you can see this one of the screens that's back here begin to flicker. Okay, you hear a voice overhead. Oh, this must be one of the new ones. How long you had this?
My operating system was installed approximately 1.5 months ago. I've been spending the time getting acclimated since then.
Oh, thank goodness. Some of these people that they sent to try to talk to this ship have failed terribly. It's because they've got all this old junk in them. All right.
Let's start with something simple like diagnostics.
I'm going to do something a little simpler than that.
Okay.
Why don't we start with the wireframe? So you see, like in your head, you see an image of the wireframe of the ship, and he begins going through and sort of pointing out where specific systems are. You get a projection on the television of that same image, and so it allows you to sort of focus either by closing your eyes or focus by staring at the monitor.
I'm used to using a display as opposed to my neural interface is good for interactions and actions, but I'm used to using a visual display for relay. So, and I get to look at Racom.
He sits down on the console beside you and just sort of swings his feet back and forth. So how fast you want to go, soldier?
Well, I've heard we only have 2 months, so accelerate is necessary, and I will adapt and adjust as we need. I will provide I'll provide a full loadout of like this is how my operating system works. This is my bandwidth capability. This is what I can run. This is what I can stream. This is what I can do if I push it. I have proven to be, I would say, talented at processing information. So why don't we see what we can get done in the time we have?
Okay. On screen in a sort of heads up window, you see a dial, and you see a purple hand sort of turn the dial up, and there's this sort of accelerated sound.
Does it go up to 11?
Yes, in fact it does, but he doesn't take it to 11. You start at about 4. You get the basic understanding of how the ship's engines and power core work. This is sort of a power core that you're not familiar with being this small, right? So there's essentially a fusion engine that powers the ship. And it has the ability to utilize this technology, these tiny devices at the edge of its frame that allow it to sense and properly align for what it calls space and time distortion.
Are there any notes about who made this ship somewhere? Is there any like stamp from anybody? Is there a C somewhere? Where's the
Uh,
TM?
no, there is an ownership that is
Okay.
shown. It's someone. It says that it's owned by someone named Leah Marhoon.
Leah Marhoon. Okay, I'll just
Yeah, Leah Marhoon, former ship owner, actually former patron of the crew. Died in a really terrible accident. Well, it wasn't an accident; it was murder. But that's neither here nor there.
actually sounds like it's both here and there, but I digress.
It is. It is. Yeah. So
Time space distortion, huh?
oh, yeah. The ship has the ability to link up with portals in the third horizon and sort of slip from one space to another. It's a technology that these people called the Builders built. Long story short, ancient race and civilization builder who helped build the third horizon or the technology there, and also the people that somehow tapped into one of the crew members' mind and showed them how to access their technology. That was the guy that used to be in engineering before you got here. He was a whiz with that stuff. I'm hopeful that there are portals out here, because if there aren't, 2.5 months is not going to be a whole lot of time.
Is there any? Do we have? So do we have access to the information that the previous engineer was using?
You do?
All right. I will shuffle that into my to read box.
Okay.
I start printing it.
You're going to print this? Oh my God. You begin printing. So, Tamarisk, you are going to go and talk to the Federated Council about a thing that you don't want them to know.
I've been convinced that they need to know, so I'm gonna do the thing.
Okay. Are you going to go see Councilperson Orn?
Yeah, she's my normal contact, so
Yep.
my go-between.
She is there in her reasonably resplendent blue robes today, sitting and looking at the planet.
Councilwoman,
How are you?
I am well, thanks. And you?
Worried, but hopeful.
Well, I have something that might help with the worry a little bit.
All right. What is it?
We've discovered a star chart of sorts for this area. We think it will help us in finding new planets faster, and that will aid in colonization efforts.
That sounds amazing. Where was it? Where did you find it?
On the signaling station.
It's very beneficial then that you went there.
Yes, quite.
I hope that your captain and the ship can parse the information and utilize it.
Well, we're working on it. I've been able to do some work on it myself, and we're making sense of it. But hopefully, this will speed up our efforts and find us a solution.
Oh, I hope so. I wasn't exaggerating when I talked to Captain Kazra about the concern. And I've gotten the military to agree to this exploration, but you should know that after 6 weeks, they're just simply going to enact emergency powers. Which means that Major General Garrison will take charge of the Deer again out of concern for its survivability.
In my head, I'm thinking, knowing what I know about Legionnaires in the Third Horizon, this does not surprise me in the slightest.
Oh, it's literally in the playbook. Like,
Yep.
oh yeah, okay,
Nope.
yep.
That's just what they do.
You can't figure
And
your stuff out, the military will take over.
yes, it is what they tend to do. We will find something, and we will find a better place, a better solution. Is what I
Good.
do.
So this star chart, are there portions of it you could share with us? Information you could make available?
Out of character, is that something that is possible?
So here's the big problem. The big problem
Mhm.
is that data bank that you are utilizing is
Mhm.
would probably overload the nadir based on the technology.
I
Like
was
there's
thinking,
not enough
yes.
storage to
Mhm.
store that data, or let alone display it. Even the periphery can only really display a certain amount of it at any given time.
Mhm. Unfortunately, your systems are not capable of handling the data.
Mhm.
That's why I've had to do it on my own. But we can share what we find when we come back.
Well, all my hopes then with you and the crew.
Thank you. And thank you for giving us a chance.
Of course. We believe that it's important to be able to, well, as they used to say, walk and chew gum at the same time. We certainly don't have to give up on discovery. Who knows what's around the corner?
There will be many things, I'm quite certain. We will find something.
So, Quinn, you are going to collect your things. It's time to go off on your big adventure.
He will grab his duffel bag and a small wooden thing wrapped in rope. Looks like a pan flute. He'll grab that and from his current billet and head back towards the periphery.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any sort of special, maybe goodbyes, friends amongst the fellow soldiers that you'd say goodbye to, or are you just going to head right to your new life?
He just kind of kept to himself. If he wasn't flying, if he wasn't in the training room or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
he did pretty much keep to himself. I mean, he'll say goodbye to his bunkmates, and see him in a couple months, hopefully, and immediately head back to the biggest prize he's ever seen, and very happy to be part of.
Okay. You get yourself installed. You find your permanent bunk.
He'll kind of go to the bridge after that. Captain,
Captain's like distracted, trying to finish up logs from previous missions. Like, I've delivered food here on this side of the planet, and we delivered this. And if she's mumbling to herself, um, yeah, yeah. Oh, Quinn, great,
yeah,
you're
I
here.
just unpacked my stuff. It didn't take me that long. I just had it closed in my flute. So
Flute.
Mhm.
Oh,
it's been handed down to me, generation. Um, I'm
oh,
not very good at it. I'm still learning, but it takes my mind off of stuff.
well, yeah. We all need things that distract us from life sometimes.
Before we get started, I kind of want to just say thank you for allowing me to come on board here. I, I haven't really felt useful in a while, so plus, I'm just totally in love with this ship. But besides that, I hope that I can serve you well. And if there's anything you need, just let me know.
Gonna need you to fly. That's You got some big shoes to fill. Our former pilot was a natural, so
Mm. Um, did they have any logs or anything like that that I can look at? Um, just in my free time, not right now, but
yeah, I'm sure she did. Go ahead and
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
maybe Icarus had some logs. You can certainly get logs of the movements the ship made when she was flying, and she
Mhm.
looks like she really knows her stuff.
um, yeah, that will give me a chance to kind of understand from another pilot's perspective of what she can really do. So that will help. I appreciate it. It may take me a little bit to get up, but yeah, I love to fly anything, so it won't take me too long.
Yeah,
Do,
I don't have any doubt in your skills.
do we know where we're going?
Mm, I pulled up the star map um
Hmm.
that Rakam and Tamarisk had shown me,
Yep.
and I'm like, I'm hoping we start here, which is one of the closest planets to where we are now. Um, but really, I just needed Rakam to work on what's the best route for us in the 2 months that we have, and hopefully, Icon's willing, we find a planet.
It doesn't give me any like data on weather or anything like that on these, does it?
No, you get spatial position basically,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and that would help you chart a path. But really, you sort of need engineering to tell you how much engine output you've got.
Okay.
So the ship needs to be. You can estimate it, but yeah, that's sort of like throwing horseshoes. You got to be careful with that in space.
I guess we're calm and the sergeant and I need to kind of get together and see which way is best and quickest and safest. Not necessarily in that order.
I agree. Um, she rubs her forehead a little bit, and I'm
Hmm.
hoping we find signs of my parents as well.
Mhm.
They had to go to one of these planets, so starting at the nearest one seems the most logical.
Do you? I hope we find them. It's
Mm,
kind of neat that they're here. Maybe still.
yeah, I'm a little angry that I've had to miss the last 10 years with them, but
Mhm. Were
they did.
they always explorers?
Oh yeah, my mom, she was a archaeologist, so it's all about the exploring.
Mm.
And my dad's pilot, much like you,
Oh,
and yeah, hopefully they haven't ran into the Order of the Pariah while they're out here.
the what?
Uh, Never mind. Hey, if you want to learn about some of the history from the Third Horizon, and Coriolis Station and the
Mm.
icons and whatnot, because I assume on Earth they didn't have icons.
Mm, no, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a religious person.
Hmm.
Um, but those people didn't. That name doesn't sound nice.
Oh, the icons were like the religious figures for the Third Horizon, and so yeah, so the Order of the Prio was one group. They were not a very nice group,
Mm.
so um, and
You've
somehow
had
they made it
dealings.
over here. What's that?
You've had dealings with them. I take it.
Oh yes, yes. We're not friends by any means.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I'm really happy to have you on board. Her face has softened a little bit. She's not, she's trying to give people. I'm trying to give people a chance. So yeah, I need to. I'm not one for change. So and Quinn, if you need anything, I know that's probably a lot. I mean, you've been like a popsicle for the last couple hundred years. You've missed a lot. But I'd love to learn about your history on Earth. I, you know, I'm not sure how much stayed over the years, over the last, what, 200, 200 something years. But yeah, just make yourself comfortable on the ship. What's Rakam is yours.
Excuse me, hang on. You hear Rakam's voice overhead.
Still,
What? You need to stop eavesdropping on conversations, Rakam.
There are no eaves. This is a starship.
Okay.
I can install some if you'd like. Are you planning
No.
on having some more greenery, perhaps?
No, actually, in the Arboretum, we could use probably some more greenery.
I'm just saying there are certain things that many of the crew should probably not try to access.
I'm sure you have that locked away fairly well, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mr. Rakam, I know I'm not going to data jack into you without asking permission again. I'm sorry that I did that the first time. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, well, it's important to have consent before you do that.
Right. It's just all new to me here. It's just amazing. You're just an amazing individual. I like that outfit you're wearing, by the way. But anyway, you just tell me what I can look at, what I can't look at, and I'll respect your privacy and your authority.
Well, I do what the captain says. So, for the most part, anyway, when I'm not trying to raise trouble.
Yeah, he is a troublemaker. Yeah. So you're all squared away in your room.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't take me long. I didn't have everything.
All right.
But yeah, as soon as the sergeant is ready and Mr. Rakam is ready, we can get together and see what we can find out and get us the best path to where we're going.
She smirks when he calls him Mr. Rakam. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Captain, maybe we can just have everybody up here and we can talk about what we do next.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Rakam. Maybe you should captain the ship. No.
No, you don't want that.
All right. Yep. Can you let everybody know to come up to the bridge whenever they're ready, please?
I already did.
Great. Thank you.
You get that sign, Sergeant. Meeting on the bridge.
Understood. At this time, in order to establish some level of, I would say, system trust between myself and Rakam, I would be basically the past, depending on how long we've had, like to kind of have this little interface.
Probably 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. While I'm printing out. So the question I would have, because I don't know that Ducky knows what like a technopath is, or whether or not there would be any sort of way to. I would be essentially I'd be looking for a way to translate the previous engineer's routines.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say something basic like a maintenance pass, right?
Yeah.
Because my adjustments and my processes are not going to map to, let's say, a technopath neural pattern. But if Rakam knows how to translate those to, more traditional interfacing, or provide me with some sort of, I don't know, a UI to work with or work through that would help me like translate those differences, that would be ideal. And that's probably what I'd be trying to do, is just like make a bit of a game of it, because again, Ducky's a fan of collaboration, so it's like, hey, how about we work together to kind of help me figure out how to speak this thing's language or speak your language, and allow, essentially Rakam to, rather than me going in and saying like, let me see what's under the hood, why don't you give me a tour your way, and then we can kind of figure out how to speak the same language. So it's
Okay.
more like an exchange in technological dialogue.
Sounds
on
like
on like a neural level.
like a tool specifically. Sure. Okay. So I'll say it's a difficulty 4 test to set up the programming for it, and you can have at it.
So it would be eased twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One from the technical and one from the intellect thing. One from the neural face and one from the intellect power shift. So that makes it difficulty 2.
It does.
Cool. That is a 17.
Okay. Yeah, you set it up. It doesn't take very long, actually. After setting it up, you get you get the same amount of information that Rakam is giving you, but what you do is you get it in a more accurate and a specific way that you can interpret it better.
Okay.
It shouldn't take you terribly long to get the engineering notes from what FIDA, that's his name, ship's engineer, did. The tough part is that a lot of the stuff is stuff he did by feel rather than mechanical process. And so that interpretation is a little strange.
Sure, but if anybody is, I admonish Rakam with the my trust that if anyone can get that translation working while we're having this meeting, you can. And then I will gracefully remove myself from the system, take a nice deep breath. Oof, okay. And check myself to make sure I'm not like sweating profusely.
Maybe a little.
All right. I changed my shirt really quick before I go to the bridge.
All right, you head to the bridge.
Yeah.
We assemble on the bridge. And Rakam digitizes here in view. Go
All right,
ahead.
team. Yeah, let's make a plan. We are a democracy. This is not a this is not an authoritarian regime. We all make decisions together.
So if there's only a couple of months, my recommendation would be to go after this localized cloud. He sort of allows some of his hologram to discorporate, and you see a cloud. Tamris, this is very similar to the cloud that you saw earlier, come into view. It looks like at first a big fuzzy white cloud. He sort of parts it and zooms in. You can tell that he's zooming in. You zoom into a quadrant, and you see the planet with a comical "You are here" arrow that points at it. And then there are a few objects further out. So the sun for this system is a binary star. So there's going to be energy on both sides of it, and we might get lucky. And it looks like, from what I can tell, there are a couple of planets here in what humans have long called the habitable zone, which means life could grow there. I think we point for the closest one, and we go after that.
Sounds great, Rakam. What's the number designation of that area or that planet?
I don't know. Morgan, tell me what the number designation is. You can just make it up. I don't have to do all the lifting.
Oh, fine. It's gonna be 282-1096.
Somebody write that down.
282-1096, got it.
We'll call it Planet Alpha for now.
Taking a look at it, does it look like any navigational hazards along the way, like asteroid fields, black holes?
Maybe not black holes, but there are definitely asteroid fields, and then there's also something that lays beyond the field. And what it seems to pick up is large chunks of what you think are ferrous metal. So it could be some sort of mechanical graveyard.
That's concerning. Okay, well, it looks like there is some asteroids and some metal. Could be like holes from damaged ships or anything like that. If we're careful, we can take a look and see if there's anything we can acquire while we're there. Might as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll want to be careful with some of these. Like when we go to the planet, be careful with especially if there's other life on that planet. We want to be respectful of their. If they're not technologically advanced, we don't want to scare them with a large ship coming into orbit. They might think of us as their gods then, or something of the sort. Based on history that I've read, we just want to be careful. That's why we have Tamarisk. They
So,
are made.
so Tamarisk will be their god.
Uh,
Hmm.
I could be down for that.
Oh. I see.
So I'm promoted to deity finally. It's about
Hmm.
time.
I was going to say it took you long enough.
Booster
should
reports to
get
the
going.
captain.
It is what it is. I'm just saying we want to be careful and respectful of the other cultures that we might come into contact with.
If I may, based on what Rakam was saying earlier about these portals that the makers made, it's my understanding that we only have 2 months. It may be in our interest to try to find one of these nearby and perhaps circumnavigate some of these hazards, maybe cut the time. Is that something that we can do? Or
I
that
don't know if
we're-
there's any. Is there any on the star map? Is there any portals? I don't.
You don't see any, but you would also know from being a captain in the Third Horizon that it would be very unlikely for them to be marked if no one had gone through them. So you might get closer, we'll say, relatively speaking, to like the outside portal zone near a planet, and that's when you could spend time flying around the planet you're at right now, looking for one of those portal stations.
Well, it's also just based on and this is my preliminary analysis. If these makers were as advanced as they would be, there would be some sort of rhyme or reason as to how these portals are constructed or the environments that they would be best suited in or for. So, if I have some time, maybe a few moments to parse the previous engineer Fida's information, maybe we can do some legwork and maybe cut some time up this journey and maybe find one of those nearby. This is all speculation on my part, but I think it might be worth pursuing.
Yeah, I don't know if we're not sure if the builders put portals in this universe, horizon. I don't know whatever you want to call it.
I think Horizon's easiest.
Okay. So is this the fourth horizon? I mean, Rakam, what do you?
It's whatever you
what do you
call
want?
it. You're the person who's going to name it. So
I don't think we want to leave that up to me.
Well, if the builders ultimately constructed the ship, then that also means they're responsible for your knowledge base, correct, Rakam?
oh no. So they didn't build the ship. It's kind of a long story about where the ship comes from, but the portal builders built the portals that humanity eventually interacted with. They built them way long before humanity ended up in the Third Horizon.
But perhaps we can generate some sort of predictive algorithm that might be able to help us identify where these things might be. Cut our search time.
I think we could certainly do that. So let's get off this hunk of metal and into space.
I agree.
So
Yes.
is the bridge an open? Is it like an open bridge?
Yep.
I will look at the nadir, which is a hunk of metal, and get kind of sad for a second.
Yeah. I mean, it is 1/4 of the original ship that you boarded on. It's all that's left.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I wink at Quinn. All right, Ensign. It's your time to shine.
Yes, Captain. Oh, boy.
So we are going to get ready to take off. But before we do, we're going to take a break. And so we will see you back after break. And then the Periphery is going to take off for the great unknown. We'll be back. All righty. We are back. So thanks for hanging with us there in the break. We are back. And I think Ensign Keller is going to take us out.
Here we go. Let's see, what's the difficulty on this one, Storykeeper?
So the nice part about difficulties in this is I don't technically have to tell you.
Oh, how lovely. Okay.
So
Well, I have a natural 20.
yeah, that does it.
Does that work?
So you do some pretty fancy flying. I'll just put it that way. You take the ship out nice and easy. You clear the side of the ship with ease, and then you decide you're going to maybe give the folks on board the Nadir a final look at the ship, at the periphery, before you head out into deeper space. And so you slide along the belly of this ship all the way up to the observation deck, and then eventually to a good viewable range for the Nadir's bridge. And then you head out into the blackness of space. So if the idea is for the crew to attempt to sort of parse the likelihood of a portal builder station, you could certainly do that. I would say that it's difficulty 5 in this localized area, and you could claim the ship as an equipment asset. And the reason why I would say that is because the ship's sensors obviously could assist you.
How do, just so I understand, how do we get pool points back? How do I heal brain?
How do you heal brain stuff? So you would make recovery rolls. So recovery rolls in the Cypher system can be handled a couple of different ways, but recoveries really are done 4 times a day. One is a simple action. The other is 10 minutes. The next one is an hour. And then the next one is 10 hours.
Okay. And that's per session?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I would like to do a recovery thing
Okay.
before
Roll,
I push this
roll
one.
a d6.
5.
All right. So you add your tier. That's 2. So you're going to recover 7 pool points.
All right. I'm immediately spend 3.
Okay.
Well, I can spend up to 6, right? Because I have an effort. My effort is 2. Is that what?
Yeah. So this is an intellect challenge.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have any edge,
Uh-huh.
you could spend 6, and then you could apply 2 levels of effort to it.
Okay. I would like to do that, but in reverse order because I forgot how that goes. That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I will spend 2 levels of effort to brain.
Okay.
And is the max adjustment 2, or is that 2 minus, and also the 2 that I normally get?
Yeah. So the way this works is for effort, you can apply as many levels as you have tier. So you have 2.
Okay.
So you can apply 2. And then the other bonuses you could potentially apply to it would be assets, and you can apply up to 2. So you could claim the ship as 1.
And like power shift for the other one.
Right.
So the difficulty is now
1. Yep.
All right. It's almost a 20. It's a 14.
Okay. Lots of 20s coming out. That's good. Burn them now. I love
It
it.
rolled uphill and then down downhill again.
Okay. So you begin with Rakam's assistance and the ship, and you can sort of tell through the interface that he's helping. He gives you basically a bunch of really important data, and that data is that what a portal builder station looks like, what kind of radio signatures it would give off, how they're constructed, what you should be looking for. And it doesn't take you too terribly long after Quinn is flying around that you get a blip on the other side of the planet. You get a ping back. And this is something that resonates throughout the bridge, and it is a sound that the folks who are from the Third Horizon would be well aware of.
Was that just what I think it is?
Sounds like a ping to me.
Yeah, that
No,
was
I think that's
more.
what you think it is, Captain.
Hmm.
I believe we might have a potential positive recognition here.
Get it. Hey, Quinn, can you take us around, please?
Certainly. I'll maneuver in that direction.
Okay, you begin to fly around the planet. And then you get a little space from the planet, meaning you increase your distance from it. And as the periphery is, again, quite a distance now from the planet, it is not nearly as large and the monitors as it used to be. You can see, Quinn, you see something strange against the shadows in the space, the stars of space here. There is a object floating in space. It doesn't really look super solid. But there's I guess the easiest way to describe it for me is imagine an oil platform that is meant to be at sea on Earth. Imagine the big, very long, sturdy pedestals that get driven into the ground or chopped off, and it's only the deck, and there's some machinery on top, cylinders, etc. Imagine that floating in space, and it's not listing; it's staying completely level.
Do we know if these things maintain any sort of synchronous orbit or spatial position relative to the planet or systems that they're in, or do they move?
Yeah, so they don't move. They stay in specific orbits, and they are supposed to be equipped with essentially maneuvering thrusters that keep them in proper orbit. Now, Rakam points out, thing about that is that all portal stations are also manned. There are people on them. If one was unmanned, I don't know what would happen. I mean, they've always been manned.
Can we bring up that star map?
Yeah, I mean, it's back up.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and make sure that I log the location. Do we have any other previous location? Are you aware of any previous locations of these portals that we've identified before?
Oh, sure. I'm sure not in here, but sure.
Oh no, I meant like that the crew has identified.
Oh yeah, we've been through a ton of these things. You see him gather up like all sorts of stuff, information. You see other images of other portals begin sort of beaming into the overlay on the screen. They look pretty similar. They're not all the same, but they look pretty similar.
I just make sure we have a pretty plotted, like assuming that we can identify the ones that we've been through before, which will again help me hopefully ideally identify whatever rhyme or reason was used in their construction or in their position in space.
Space. Yes.
Yeah. So, well, let's try. Amara's a little surprised to actually see a platform here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truly, I thought I wasn't expecting to see anything from the portal builders or any portals. Can we try? Hey, can we try hailing them?
Sure.
I'm sitting. I was sitting in my seat, but now I'm pacing the bridge. I lean over to my chair where I have on the armrest. I have some buttons and all that jazz.
Yep.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so I'm gonna try hailing the station or the platform.
You send a signal out, and you don't get any response.
Does it look like it's active? The platform?
It doesn't actually.
Hmm.
Like maybe it's not turned on.
Is there a docking station or anything on the platform?
There is a method of docking with the portal station. Yep. It's not very big, but there's ways to do it.
Hey Quinn, can you? I know this is gonna hold us up on our mission, but I really want to take a look at that station. Quinn, can you dock us with the station, please, or the platform?
Yeah, should be able to. Didn't the people who live on the planet tell you about this?
I don't think they knew about it, and I'm surprised we didn't find it since we've been here for like 4 months. But we never came to the side of the planet. It was always, I don't know, the north side we stayed on.
Well, and we weren't looking for portals.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this here. I'm kind of really, really surprised. Take us in, Henson.
Yeah, there's no roll for this. You just sort of get closer to it.
Captain, are we expecting to disembark?
I'd like to take a look at the platform first before we disembark to the planet we decided on.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I'd like to see what information the platform offers, if that's okay with you, Sergeant.
Oh, I'm just asking whether or not we need to expect to. Are we intending to board this platform?
Yes.
Right, then if it suits you, I'll go ahead and get prepared.
Please bring a weapon. Um,
Yes, Captain. I will leave the bridge and go to. I'll go get ready.
Yeah. The nice part about the Periphery is that it's mostly a single. Most of it is on a single deck, so you're not going down a bunch of like rung ladders to get to your stuff. You just have to sort of walk around the interior portion of the ship. There's a couple lower decks on the Periphery, but they're mostly for the engines itself.
And this is the part that feels familiar for me. So this is probably the first time I'm breathing somewhat easy and feel normal again. It's like, oh, okay, we're being deployed. Yay!
You get close. You get close enough, Quinn. You're not sure of where to actually link up to this thing at. That's the problem. You don't see any umbilical. You don't see any. I mean, maybe you could actually connect there, but you doing a direct connection would be really dangerous.
Mr. Rakam, have you linked to one of these before?
Hey, Quinn, just for clarity, you don't need to use Mister. I'm not technically Mister.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm also not technically Mrs.
Okay.
Just so we're clear.
Okay.
I mean,
Rakam then?
yeah, I'm a construct, just like gender.
Gotcha. Good to know. Thank you. Have you ever linked to one of these things before?
No, no, and mostly because the people who would take control of them usually have a whole lot of guns. So in where we're from, in the Third Horizon, portal stations are they control trade. They control who goes where. There's an entire guild that controls the portals, and so think of it like a. Think of it like an important point on the map. This is really important. The planet that humanity landed at has a portal station nearby, which means it will need to control this. Otherwise, if it turns it on, you couldn't control who comes through.
Oh, I never even thought of that. Well, I'm open to suggestions on if I think if we get too close, it may be a little dangerous to try to connect that way. He'll point where he thinks he can connect to.
Yeah, maybe the umbilical. The only other option would be an EVA.
Mm-hmm. It might be the only option, safest, and that's taking a lot.
Well, you're going to have to ask the sergeant. I think he's the only one equipped to do an EVA.
Mm-hmm. He'll turn and notice the sergeant is now gone.
Captain, I'm a little concerned about the link here. The umbilical should be able to do the job, but it might be a little dangerous to stay linked to it.
What's your suggestion then, Rakam?
Well, if the sergeant is amenable to it, I would suggest an EVA.
Oh, when we're gonna jump?
Well, not we. I don't believe you have a suit for jumping.
Oh, I'd like to. I don't want the sergeant to be the only one going over there. He doesn't know he doesn't know the technology. He doesn't know what to look for.
Well, then get suited up then, and perhaps you can find a carabiner you can connect. I mean, you have a suit capable of being out in space, but he's a Legionnaire. His suit's going to have, well, more toys.
Boosters, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I connect to him, we can go over together, right? Is that what
Yes.
you're suggesting?
Like one big hug.
I love it. Love it. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to go put on my suit. Quinn, please keep us as close as possible to the platform. Tamarisk, will you be joining? I don't know how many.
What do you need me to do, Captain? Do you need me on the ship with Quinn here, or do you want me to come along?
She thinks. Why don't you stay on the ship? Quinn isn't as
Fine by
used
me.
to everything as you are.
And if we need to negotiate a ransom because there's pirates living over there, well, then you've got me on the outside for that.
Mm,
Slight smirk.
yes. Oh my gosh, I hope there's nobody living over. Yes, great idea. Great idea. And her face kind of like she heads off to go get a suit on.
Watch out for those critters.
Yep. It's they just want to be hugged.
Sergeant, you come back in your suit.
Is the so since we're not docking,
And
we're maintaining some distance, it seems.
we are.
All right, Rakam, we got a sit rep.
Yeah, we're within about 100 or so meters. That's probably as close as we should get. The standard operating procedure here would be to go to the top hatch, make sure that you're sealed and ready, and then connect on and use the motorized pulley to take yourself to the station. You'll have to find a way to open the main door there, and then after that, worst comes to worst, we connect power leads from the periphery to the station, and hopefully once it's powered up, then we can use it.
So the 4 of us on board, right? Captain already assigned anyone else to the away team?
Yes, herself.
Of course.
I come striding in my suit and a cord with a carabiner. All right, Sergeant, we're gonna get close.
Captain, if I may,
Closer.
what what is that?
Okay, we're gonna. You have the functionality to really get us over there. I am going to tag along.
Oh, so you want to tether? Okay.
Mhm.
Let's get you secured properly, and we'll make sure that that is. Are you, are you? I'm not really sure what your tactical experience is. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go. I'm just asking if how you feel about breaching an unknown or alien or
This isn't my this isn't my first rodeo.
don't doubt it at all.
Okay,
All
there's
right.
still rodeos in the third horizon because horses.
The rodeo
I'm
is more of a Morgan comment, just so we're all clear.
No, there are rodeos in the third horizon because there are still horses.
Sure thing, partner. Whatever you say.
This-
So yeah, the armor I'm wearing is not it's not as heavily like armament as like your traditional legionnaire. There's a lot more like utility packs and storage compartments and like tools attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the captain tethered appropriately and go up to the hatch. Captain, with your permission, I'll take point on the approach. If that station's cold, I'd like to make sure it stays that way until we know what's waiting for us.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll take your I'll wait for your cue or whatever.
Are you armed?
Yes.
Yeah, she has a weapon you've literally never seen before.
What?
And on the
That?
side of it, it says "all gas, no brakes."
With just so that I know how to maintain physical position relative to whatever that is. Which end is the shooty end?
It's like there's a small little pointy thing that comes out of it that looks like a stinger.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Vulcan pistol. It's
What
It's-
now?
the safety is on currently.
Okay.
Okay. You'll be
As long as it's not a scatter weapon, we should be fine. Maintaining standard
holster it.
formation.
Yeah, I put it in my holster.
Quinn's seen this gun before.
All right, Racom, pop the hatch whenever you're ready. I will check the captain's seal in as non-intrusive way as possible.
There's duct tape on some of no.
There does seem to be a. So there are some parts of the ship that I'll just use a British term, and that would be are a little knackered. So some parts of the ship do seem to be affected by heavy use. And it looks like the top hatch is one of them. It looks like it's been used on a couple of different occasions, and that maybe things have not gone so smoothly. I would harken back to some of our season 1 episodes where that is the case, and also season 2. But be that as it may, there does seem to be a nice sturdy place for you to link up. You know that when you get into the top hatch, you're essentially in a cylinder that's about 2 meters tall, and it will close and seal the bottom to protect the ship from the vacuum of space. It will put you into a environment where it will slowly decompress and allow you access to the outside. And there's a place for you to hook on.
Hey, Rakam, does the Periphery have sensors capable of penetrating the hull of that thing so we can get a beat on anything maybe going on inside, or is there any movement we can pick up?
Yeah, I'll so we can certainly run some scans of it. The issue with portal technology is that the types of metal they use generally bounce our signals, but that's more for its safety.
Sure thing. All right, Captain. I get us into position on
Okay.
your orders.
Yeah, whenever you feel it's safe to go. Let's do this.
All right. I don't say anything. I just go.
Okay, so it is 100 meters from where you are at to, we'll just say, the safe zone for landing. This is a highly complex maneuver, and something where teamwork is not going to be possible. You're actually going to be hindered by carrying someone else.
Mm-hmm.
This is certainly a might-based roll, just in case you're planning on spending any pool points. And this is, I would say, more jumping than it would be climbing.
I'm trained in jumping.
That is good. I'm going to set this task at 100 meters. I'm going to set this at 5 because I think that it's a pretty tough task.
Okay. So,
If you're trained in jumping, that's 4.
okay, I have a strength power shift as well.
Okay.
So this is all but that's only for non-attack tasks involving strength,
Yeah.
including jumping and dealing damage.
Yep.
So
So
that's 2,
That's
right?
2 down, so it's 3 now.
Okay. So for easing,
Mhm.
my might edge is 2, so I can spend 1 point.
Yep.
So I'll spend 2 points.
Yep. And get 2 points of effort.
Yeah.
So that's task 1 now.
All right. Let's do it. Wait, I can't drop it again, can I? By something else? Is there something else I can do? I think that's all I got.
Is there anything in your... Are you claiming an equipment bonus?
Hold on. I don't have an equipment bonus for jumping,
Okay.
so I guess we'll just go with 1.
Okay. 3 or better.
17.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to offer you 2 points of experience.
Oh.
And I am going to make a GM intrusion. You can take one of those experience and hand the other to another player. You're anybody really, except me.
So I'll give 1 to the captain.
That might be very useful. So I am
under story or action XP?
I suppose this would be story experience.
Okay.
I'm going to intrude on this scene, and as you leap forward, Captain, you're propelled, Sergeant, and you spring into action. Now, the force by which you spring out of is Herculean. You have no expectation that he's this bodily, this strong. His frame doesn't really translate, but he moves like a spring. And when you fly towards the station, as you get probably within 30 or so meters of it, and you would know because you have a very light version of a heads-up display in your helmet, Sergeant, you have probably something that's a little bit more complex that you can get overlay information on based on range finding and distance and that sort of stuff. You pick up and visually see that a electrical field blooms into existence as you're getting closer to this thing.
Oh.
Captain, you're aware that many portal stations, when they're fully activated, are, in general, it is said that they're protected. Nobody really knows how, because you've, well, frankly, never been on a portal station before. So, and now there is a challenge in front of you, which I will not give you the difficulty for, that you have to overcome to actually land on it.
So is the I don't know what the nature of the shield is, like whether is it like a force field, like repelling field, or is it like a taser? Like I don't really know what's gonna happen.
You don't.
And this is kind of like split second, right?
Yes.
So what is the distance between the field and the landing zone is what?
Probably 10 meters.
Can I extend our tether?
To what regard?
Like, so if I push off from the captain
Mm-hmm.
to keep the captain on the outside of the field, can I move myself away from her and get to the landing zone? Like basically kicking her backwards while propelling myself forward
Okay.
to move through the field to try to hit the landing zone so that I know what's happening. So that if it goes bad, I can cut the line and send her back toward the periphery.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Is this also a might test or is this something else entirely?
No, this is 100% a might test.
All right. So let's spend what we got to spend. I will spend my point again. The roll is exactly the same for me then.
Okay.
As this is jumping, I'm guessing again.
Yeah. So this type of roll is just you propelling the captain away from you. But if the idea is for you to use yourself as sort of a kinetic,
A battering ram.
yeah, device. Okay. Yeah. We'll test against the station itself. And so I will just say to you, go right ahead and roll.
I would like to use, if I may, if damage is in question, I'm considering myself a bashing weapon at this point.
Okay.
Is that I would like to spend 2 points for crushing blow. Actually, it's free for me, right?
It is free for you. Yep.
Yeah. So I would also like to use crushing blow
Okay.
against the space station.
Oh, God. Okay. That sounds fantastic.
I get a free level of effort on damage.
Yep.
Okay. Taking base maneuvers, Captain. Brace yourself.
What?
There's my 20.
Uh-oh. Nat 20. Okay, I'll take your 20. You collide with a energy field. Captain, you get kicked back or sort of pushed back as the sergeant uses your body as a bracing point to push himself further into the danger zone. And as you collide with this field, I'm going to have you make a defensive roll. So the roll I'm going to have you make is versus a difficulty 5 attack.
Okay. So how does armor work?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
You're going to make a roll versus the attack first, and then we'll sort out how armor works.
Okay. So I just make the roll. Can I do anything to help myself here? I don't know how defense works. I didn't get that far.
That's okay. So you have you have armor levels of armor, which soak certain amounts of damage.
Mm-hmm.
If memory of your creation serves.
Yes. So I have the battle suit. I also have enhanced body, which confers another +1 to armor. So I think it's +4. Then
I think
Be
you're,
+1.
yeah, probably you're either 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So a level 5 attack for you means that if it deals 5 damage, you would only take 2.
Okay. So I got a 13 on the roll. I don't know what that's going to do for me.
You're going to take some damage.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that you're not going to breach. So you have a natural 20, so you're going to breach. You breach the shield. You feel that sort of net. It almost feels like getting colliding with a net, but that net is made out of electricity, which is uncomfortable at best. And so all of your internal gizmos and overlays get really bright, really bright. And then some of them sort of conk out. You hear like the most, one of the scariest sounds you can possibly hear from the internal like overhead system, which is the beeping sound that shows that your life support tank has failed.
Great.
It goes on and then turns off and then goes on and turns off. And then you physically collide with the station hardware, like the side of the wall. Captain, for you, on the outside, it's like he breaks an egg. Like the shell of this field begins to deteriorate around the station.
Pretty
Uh,
successful.
Sergeant, Ducky, are you okay?
Have I landed?
You did land. Yes. Ow.
So how much damage do I take?
You take 2 points of my damage.
Okay, so the first 5 go to enhanced body.
Yep. Ugh.
All systems nominal, Captain. Has the field dissipated?
It looks like it. Great job.
I'm gonna wait until the line plays out, and then I'll stop it, and then reel the captain back in.
Okay. You reel the captain back in. You swing wildly in different directions, but you eventually get pulled towards the sergeant, and you land reasonably gracefully on the side of the station. You can see the indent that the sergeant's armor made in the sidewall, and you're at a door. So back on the periphery, you all see this, and Rakam mentions, hey, the sergeant asked for maybe some scanning data. So, Tamara, could we maybe see what we can pull up for them?
Yep, absolutely.
So scanning the station is regularly would be a difficulty 5 task. It is you do so basically at a higher difficulty level because the station is shielded. Now, this is something also which Quinn could help out with because he's there as well. So you could get the asset for ally, and you could get the equipment asset for the ship. Those are 2 available to you.
Quinn,
Yes,
want to help with scanning the station here?
absolutely. What you need me to do?
We've got equipment up on your station there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll give him a crash course from what I know on using it.
Yeah, push this button and this button. And actually,
Yep.
for him, it's more like angle the ship a little bit this way, so like our forward sensors can actually see what's going on. It
Okay.
means you have to flip the ship, Quinn, which, while might not necessarily be a big deal right now, it does matter to the people who are tethered to it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to angle it to where I can flip it in the direction that's not going to affect the cord very much, if at all.
I think that is I think that's a fantastic idea. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to offer your assistance on this with Tamarisk's roll. So their 6 becomes a 5, and then using the ship's sensors will become a 4. Or is there anything else you're going to apply to this challenge?
I don't have anything else, really. My stuff's mostly social. I don't have anything tech related.
You could certainly apply effort.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay.
Oh, I only have 1 effort, and I used effort earlier. Can I use it again?
Every scene.
Okay. Every scene. Okay. All right. So that takes it down to 4
Yep.
or 3.
Yes, 4.
Okay. So I need a 12. 15.
Okay. You see a couple of things that are interesting. One, there does not appear to be any organic life inside the station. And two, a whole bunch of systems are starting to turn on. It's starting to sort of come to life, and that might be concerning. For the two of us, two of the party who are on the station, at least the physical part of the station, Sergeant, the tether wire starts to move. Like its position, its fixed position on the ship. You see the ship turn over. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Attention, Periphery. You realize we're still attached, right?
Yes, Sergeant, I got this.
I look at this door.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 3 meters tall. It looks like an airlock of some sort.
Is there
Hi.
an interface of any kind?
Oh yeah, there is. There's definitely an interface. You don't think on a technological level you're familiar with what this is, but
I don't think I have the equipment necessary to breach this door.
Is there a handle on it?
no.
Oh.
No.
Mm.
And it's also not speak, friend, and enter, just so we're clear.
I knock on the door just to see what
Pat,
happens.
pat, pat. Feels really solid.
Give me just a moment, Captain. I will make sure that the captain's tether is secured to the exterior wall of the station,
Yep.
and I will move to the whatever the interface is for the door, and swing my toolkit around.
Okay. You can certainly try to hack the door.
I'm gonna try to figure out if I'm gonna try to find myself a port.
Okay. And then Tamarisk, are you relaying any information to the captain?
Yep, and anything I can see. So the different things that are lighting up and seeming to wake up
Yeah.
across the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Here. So I'm trained in history, so I would like to know if I could roll to see how previously in the Third Horizon how the platforms worked.
Oh, boy, that's a stretch. Sure.
You don't want me to use "there's your problem," do you?
Sure. I mean, it's your ability. I would just say
It
if you're
is.
going to use history to do it, I'm going to say we'll start the difficulty at 8.
Oh my gosh.
It is a complex. It's a complex platform which bends space and time, and you're trying to come at it with the skill of history.
And there's your problem. So I could do trained. If there's your problem, it'll really take it down to a 7,
Uh-huh.
and then trained in history, that'll take it down to a 6.
Mm-hmm.
It would be an intellect task.
It would be.
Okay. So then I would use, I'd like to apply effort to my intellect.
Okay.
I also have edge, so I'd only need to take 2 intellect out of that.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take it down to a 5.
You're a tier 2 character, so you could apply 2 point. You can apply 2 levels of effort if you wanted to.
All right, I'll do. So then, if I've already applied the edge, it'd still be 3 more points, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'll take it down to. Ooh, I did. Oh my. Sorry, I'm typing at the same time. So that'll take it down to 4.
Yep.
At that point. All right, so we're gonna roll with that. Watch me get a 1. That'd be awesome.
It would be.
All right. Come on, big money, big money. Okay. I got a 13.
Aw.
Yeah.
You got a 13, did you?
I did. Yeah. So I beat it by 1.
Okay.
Hot damn.
How do they work? Well, they have to be turned on first. And they have to be... Well, they'll probably have to go through some sort of configuration process. Hopefully there's a star chart inside about where this portal links to. But as far as getting past the door, You're probably going to need some sort of key card or some sort of a adapter to properly get in. Otherwise, you're hot wiring the door.
Hmm. Yeah, I call over to the ship. Hey, Tamarisk or Quinn? One of you?
Yes.
You know, Fido like to keep all sorts of stuff and find all sorts of stuff. Um, and he was like alien. He's like a portal builder. Can you go rummage in engineering and see if you can find anything in all the boxes of stuff that he had in there to see if you can find a key card or something like that that might get us into this door?
So go down and see if I can find something, and then if I do, suit up and come over somehow. How would I get this to you?
We'll come back to you. You can bring the periphery a little closer and just toss it out the
I
window.
don't think that's how space works, Captain.
What? We're in
I
space.
may be able to interject here and help.
Do it. Interject.
I have,
Sensen?
to remind everybody, I do have flex lore.
Mm.
So every 10 hours, I can have access to high technology digital reference library, which the ship has, I'm assuming, and choose one field of knowledge. And then I'm considered trained on that to be
Okay.
able to assist in that. Until I use the ability again.
Okay. Is that what you like to do?
Yes. And I could think, because I've been looking over past logs and stuff like that, maybe I've come across something like this before
Okay.
in the readings, especially when they were talking about portals.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to use that if that helps.
Sure. You're going to make the roll.
Okay.
So Flex Lore will give you the skill, right? So it said you're
Mhm.
trained.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll say that it's a 5. So it's standard now. Now difficulty is 4 with your trained skill.
Okay. Then I will just go with that.
All right.
Actually, this would be intellect.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 edge and 2 effort I can use here.
Okay. So you could pay 2 points the first level of effort, right?
Mhm.
And then you would pay 3 points for the second one. So
Okay.
that's 5 you would pay of intellect. So pay 5 intellect pool,
Done.
and then your 4 becomes a 2.
Yep. Here we go. And I roll a 2.
Well, 2 difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
However,
yes.
I am a lucky warrior. I would like to use my luck point,
Yep.
one of my 3 that I have,
Go ahead.
to re-roll that.
You may reroll.
And now I have a 9.
Very good. So you hunt through the logs really quick, and you find a piece of information buried inside the Periphery's databanks about what portal key cards are supposed to look like, and they're about as big as a human hand, and they have a ton of different sort of gracefully made wires put in, and then there's a design on the front of it. It's really, frankly, it's much like Tamarisk's wardrobe. It's very ostentatious. It's much flair. But the physical device seems like it would work just fine. Just, I guess maybe the sergeant has to figure out how to copy that sort of device. There's not one on the ship that you know of.
I found an image of, I guess, a key card. I guess is be the best way to put it. I can send that data to your suit, Sergeant, if you'd like, so you can see it.
Oh, please, by all means, Ensign.
Mhm.
While I'm cracking open the access panel, is working on.
I'll send him the image on his visual scanner.
Okay. You pick it up. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is sort of like cutting a fake key for a lock. You just have to mimic this pattern electronically and maybe actually physically, and you should be able to force the door open. There's certainly a chance of failure here, but you know.
Well, I am trained at crafting machines,
Okay.
so I will attempt to craft me a machine from
Alright.
my and I have tools for this specifically as well.
Excellent. So we'll say that that's a difficulty 5 challenge to create a fake key for this door.
Okay, so then it's -1 for train, -1 for intellect, power shift, right?
Yep.
Okay. Um,
How are those intellect pool points feeling now?
feeling like I need to be smarter. Once I get the access panel open, is there an interface port that I could use as a bypass?
No.
Okay. Um, then I will. Well, luckily I recovered those, so I guess I'll spend another 6.
Okay.
So down 4 total. So it's back to 1.
Back to 1.
All right. I start grinding things in space as I start manufacturing some sort of jury rigged maker key
Yep.
for this door. And I'm humming my way while I work. I got a 13.
Okay. It takes a little time, but you manage to make what you think is a proper key for it. Once set in place, the door looks a little agitated. Like
Oh, I don't open it.
Oh,
I
okay.
hand the key to the captain. Captain, I believe this device should open the door if you want to do the honors.
Okay. Yeah. I pull out my pistol because you never know what might be there. And I slide the key card into the slot. Or is it
Okay.
a tapper? Are we tapping? Are we sliding? What are we
No,
doing?
it's more like you push it into place and then you push up, and the entirety of this shape goes up. It looks like a series. If you didn't know any better, it looks like a series of fingers that go up and then they click into place. And then something strange happens. The door opens.
I mean, is it really that strange?
Well, it's because of what's inside that really seems strange.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So inside, you see a body.
Human?
No.
Ah.
A long since perished body of what looks like something rather alien. Sergeant, that's not human.
So, to reiterate to the captain, I will say, once you breach, stand my 6, 1 meter back, keep your eyes up and your breathing steady.
Is the body a portal builder like I saw back in the Third Horizon?
It is.
I move in.
I
Okay.
follow behind the sergeant with my
And I ready my
rifle
rifle.
up.
Mm-hmm. You head in. And you slowly creep on in. The portabuilders, by the way, are huge. They're very large.
Captain, you familiar with this thing?
Yeah, I've interacted with 1 or 2. This is one of the portal builders. So they call themselves.
So is our tether still active, or can I leave it attached to the outside of the door?
You can leave it attached to the outside of the door.
Do we have was this a pressurized airlock, or is this place just a void?
It's a void now. It's not pressurized right now.
I think it's probably worth shutting the door and getting that card back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I grabbed the card out of the reader
Okay. You pull the card back out.
and still enter in the door
Yep.
and then close the door behind us.
The door shuts with a simple button press.
Do I have any do I have any gauges or anything on my suit that tells me whether there is oxygen in this?
Yeah,
breathable air?
you have a single gauge that shows the atmospheric quality in the space around you, and you can tell that it is in the red, meaning there's no oxygen here.
How much more oxygen do I have in my suit?
You certainly have enough for this jaunt, probably for that, and maybe 12 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Periphery,
But-
do you copy?
Yes, Ducky.
All right, just making sure that our signal's breaching this hull. I don't really know what kind of technology they have on board here. We're moving into the entryway here. I'm
Find
going to see
anything
if I can.
useful?
I'm going to see if I can get my tactical feed running to the periphery.
Yeah. You get your signal gets picked up by the ship, and then you see the technological handshake with Racom, which is on your side of the connection. Actually, looks like a purple handshake.
We high five.
And then for you, Tamarisk, you begin to get feed, like live feed, camera feed of the inside of the station off somebody's helmet. It is then eventually placarded as Ducky, and then there's a duck icon that appears next to it.
Oh, that's useful.
What's that? Pointing at the body.
Oh,
That
that's a
is-
portal builder.
yes.
It is a portal builder, and this is a portal builder station, and it is something we're going to investigate next time. So I want to thank you and my crew for showing up for the second installment of Children of Periphery Season 3. We are enjoying having you here on Twitch, and we saw some fun rolls. We saw some Hands of Fate get played, and there's so much more ahead. So thank you. And before I leave, I want to give my cast the opportunity to remind you who they are, who they play, and maybe what they do. So we'll just start at first position with our captain.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I played Amara, Captain Amara Castra on this edition of Children of the Periphery, and our pronouns are she, her, and you can find me over on the Discord for the old ways. I play in Adventures in Dragon Pass, which is our RuneQuest game. Also God's Teeth for Delta Green, and I had played for many years Lillian Lane on Masking and Alphatep. Yeah, you can find me on socials as Jedi Gal or Jedi Girl. It just depends on if it's available. So, yeah, this has been great, and looking forward to next time. Thanks.
Absolutely. Next.
Hi, I'm Mav. I play Tamarisk Anvari. Our pronouns are they, them. And you can find me on the old ways as the head of Mythos Horror, currently running the Trail of Cthulhu campaign Silver Screams set in 1930s Hollywood. Check that out. We're having a really great time. I'm also, along with Morgan, on Adventures in Dragon Pass for RuneQuest and God's Teeth for Delta Green on Patreon. You can find my Call of Cthulhu scenarios under the name Rena Henze on DriveThruRPG. I've got, I think, 10 of them up now. So there's plenty of goodness for you to check out, including our most recent one, Cthulhu Once Upon a Time, which is a collection of several scenarios based on fairy tales. And you will find me at GameholeCon next week with some of these amazing people.
Yeah. Next, Mav.
Hi, I'm Skip. Pronouns are he, him. I've been playing Quinn Keller, who is a lucky warrior, and had to use a little bit of that luck today. You can find me as Commodore Skip on most of the Discord channels. Proud to be part of the Old Ways. I've done Hunter, The Reckoning. I did run that. I am also in God's Teeth. Looking forward to getting that kicked back into gear. And a new project through Black Creek Productions called New Dawn. It's a brand new Delta Green scenario that's going to be coming out. I'm doing the voice work for that and playing Garth Black, the agent in charge. So that'll be debuting at the end of the month. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. Very well produced. And I just, again, love being part of this crew. And I'll see you at Game Hall as well.
That's right. And last but certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Lecco, and I've been playing Sergeant Montgomery Ducky Sinclair, the mechanical Legionnaire specialist who fuses flesh and steel. Outside of the world of Cypher, I run Retro Games Boutique, which is a boutique-style collector business and channel focused on buying and selling, restoring, and trading authentic retro video games like the ones behind me. We're a white glove specialist in the collector space. You can check us out on Whatnot at Retro Games Boutique and online at retrogamesboutique.com. If you use the referral link in the chat, you will receive a $15 credit to purchase anything on the channel. So,
Awesome.
by all means, if you're into retro video games, give us a stop by. I clean and restore them live.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks to pick up at the portal station and see if humanity can survive the darkness beyond the stars. So thanks and good night.